In the heart of the mystical Mbali forest, where the ancient trees whispered secrets to the winds and the river sang songs of forgotten times, there lived a young hunter named Mutesa. Mutesa was known throughout his village for his bravery and skills, yet his heart longed for an adventure that would etch his name into the annals of history. His village, tucked away in the lush landscapes of Uganda, thrived on tales of old stories passed down through generations, of heroes who conquered the unknown and returned with treasures of wisdom and power. Mutesa's yearning for such a quest grew with each passing day. He spent his days hunting in the dense forest, his eyes ever alert for signs of the extraordinary. It was on one such day, as the golden sun dipped below the horizon, casting an amber glow over the land, that Mutesa stumbled upon an old, withered map buried beneath the roots of a colossal baobab tree. This map, said to be enchanted, led to the legendary Kasoma Mountain, a place no man had ever returned from. It was whispered among the elders that atop this mountain lay the fabled spirit drum, an artifact so powerful it could command the elements and summon spirits from the other world. The map was a relic of a bygone era, its edges frayed and its parchment fragile. Symbols and markings, faded by time, hinted at secrets long forgotten. As Mutesa traced the path on the map with his finger, he felt a strange connection to it, as if it was calling him to a destiny he was born to fulfill. The village elders had often spoken of Kasoma Mountain in hushed tones, their stories filled with awe and dread. The spirit drum, they said, was crafted by the ancient gods and bestowed upon the first king of the land. It was a symbol of unity and power, capable of summoning rains, calming storms, and communicating with the ancestors. Preparation. Determined to uncover the truth behind the legend, Mutesa sought the counsel of the village elders. The oldest among them, Mziketo, a man whose eyes had seen countless seasons, spoke of the dangers that lay ahead. Kasoma Mountain is not just a place, he warned, it is a trial of the spirit. The Nyoka serpents guard its base, and the wraiths of the mist haunt its slopes. Only the pure of heart and the brave of soul can hope to reach its summit. Undeterred, Mutesa prepared for his journey. He crafted new arrows, sharpened his trusted bow, and gathered provisions. His mother, Nakitend, gave him a talisman for protection, a small, carved figurine of the ancestral spirits. "May the spirits watch over you, my son," she whispered, her eyes brimming with tears. Journey begins with the village's blessings, and his heart full of courage, Mutesa ventured into the unknown. The forest, with its dense canopy and labyrinthine paths, soon enveloped him. Each step took him deeper into the realm of the mystical and the magical. The sounds of the forest were both familiar and strange. The rustling leaves and distant animal calls now seemed to carry hidden messages. As Mutesa delved deeper into Mbali forest, he encountered creatures he had only heard of in stories. A majestic lion with a golden mane crossed his path, its eyes reflecting wisdom and age. It did not attack, but watched him with an intensity that sent shivers down his spine. Further along, he came across a shimmering pond where fish glowed with an ethereal light, and a giant tortoise with a shell like a mosaic of precious stones. After days of travel, Mutesa reached the base of Kasoma Mountain. The air grew colder, and an eerie silence fell over the forest. It was here that the Nyoka serpents, the fearsome guardians of the mountain, made their presence known. These serpents were unlike any Mutesa had seen, their scales shimmering like the night sky and their eyes glowing with a malevolent intelligence. The ground trembled as the largest of the serpents, Nyoka Mkuu, rose from its coil. "Who dares to disturb our domain?" it hissed, its voice a chilling whisper. Mutesa, his heart pounding, stood his ground. "I am Mutesa, son of the Mbali forest," and I seek the spirit drum, he declared, his voice steady despite the fear gripping him. A battle ensued, one of wit and strength. Mutesa used his agility and sharp reflexes to evade the serpent's strikes, his arrows finding their marks with precision. But it was not enough to defeat them. Realizing this, Mutesa recalled the stories of old, of how the Nyoka serpents could be calmed by music. He reached for his flute, a simple instrument he carried for solace, and began to play a melody passed down by his ancestors. The haunting tune moved through the air, and one by one, the serpents ceased their attacks, entranced by the music. Nyoka Mkuu, moved by the melody, allowed Mutesa to pass, recognizing the purity of his intent. The ascent of Kasoma Mountain was treacherous. The path was steep and fraught with peril. As Mutesa climbed higher, a thick mist enveloped him, and he found himself in the realm of the wraiths of the mist. These spirits of ancient warriors, bound to protect the mountain's secrets, were shadows that whispered doubts and fears into his mind. They taunted him with visions of failure and despair. Mutesa's strength began to wane, but he remembered the words of Mziketo, "The true test is of the spirit." He closed his eyes and summoned the teachings of his ancestors.
Hey there! If you love captivating folktales and inspiring life stories, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. You'll enjoy amazing tales from around the world and insightful life adventures. Let's explore together.
He recited the proverbs and songs of his people, grounding himself in their wisdom. The wraith's whispers grew louder, but Mutesa's resolve was stronger. He pressed on, his faith in his mission unshaken. As Mutesa journeyed further, he encountered allies who aided him. An old hermit named Mukasa, who lived on the mountain, offered him shelter and guidance. Mukasa spoke of a hidden path that led directly to the summit, a path known only to those pure of heart. Grateful for the guidance, Mutesa continued his journey. However, not all he met were friends. Among the mountain's inhabitants was Kanyamozi, the treacherous guide who pretended to help but led Mutesa into a trap. Mutesa had to rely on his instincts and the teachings of his ancestors to escape and overcome the betrayal. This experience strengthened his resolve and made him more cautious of whom to trust. Climbing Kasoma Mountain, the final ascent, was the most challenging. The air grew thin and the path narrowed. Mutesa faced physical and mental exhaustion, but his determination never wavered. He encountered natural obstacles like landslides and treacherous cliffs, and supernatural ones such as illusions created by the mountain's magic to test his resolve. Mutesa's internal struggle intensified. He questioned his purpose and the validity of the legends. But with each challenge, he grew stronger, learning that the journey was as much about self-discovery as it was about reaching the summit. As Mutesa approached the summit of Kasoma Mountain, the air grew colder and the sky seemed to darken with each step. The final stretch of his journey was marked by an eerie silence, as if the mountain itself was holding its breath. Mutesa's heart pounded with anticipation and dread. He knew that he was close to the legendary spirit drum, but he also sensed that his greatest challenge was yet to come. At the peak of the mountain, Mutesa discovered a vast plateau. In the center stood an ancient temple, its stone walls covered in intricate carvings that depicted the history and mythology of his people. The spirit drum was said to be housed within this sacred temple. As Mutesa approached, the massive doors of the temple slowly creaked open, as if welcoming him. Inside the temple, the air was thick with the scent of incense, and the flickering light of torches cast long shadows on the walls. Mutesa could hear a low, rhythmic drumming, a sound that seemed to resonate with his very soul. He followed the sound to the heart of the temple, where he finally laid eyes on the spirit drum. The drum was magnificent, larger than any drum Mutesa had ever seen. Its surface was adorned with intricate designs and ancient symbols, and it seemed to glow with an otherworldly light. As Mutesa approached, he felt a powerful energy emanating from the drum, filling him with a sense of awe and reverence. But Mutesa was not alone. As he reached out to touch the drum, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a guardian, a spirit bound to protect the drum from those unworthy of its power. The guardian was a towering figure, clad in ancient armor and wielding a spear that crackled with magical energy. "Who dares to seek the spirit drum?" The guardian's voice echoed through the temple. "Only one who is pure of heart and true of spirit may claim its power." Mutesa stood his ground, his heart filled with determination. "I am Mutesa, the son of the Mbali forest. I seek the spirit drum to bring peace and prosperity to my people." The guardian studied Mutesa for a long moment, as if weighing his words and his soul. "Very well," the guardian said finally. "To claim the spirit drum, you must prove your worth. Face me in a trial of spirit and strength." The trial was a test of both physical prowess and inner strength. Mutesa and the guardian engaged in a fierce battle, their movements swift and powerful. The guardian's spear clashed with Mutesa's bow, creating sparks that illuminated the temple. But the trial was not just about combat, it was also a test of Mutesa's character and wisdom. As they fought, the guardian posed riddles and challenges, testing Mutesa's knowledge and judgment. Mutesa drew upon the teachings of his ancestors, recalling the proverbs and stories that had guided him throughout his life. With each correct answer and wise decision, Mutesa gained the upper hand in the battle. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Mutesa struck a decisive blow, disarming the guardian and bringing the trial to an end. The guardian, now kneeling before him, looked up with a sense of respect and acceptance. "You have proven yourself worthy, Mutesa," the guardian said. "The spirit drum is yours." As Mutesa placed his hands on the spirit drum, a surge of energy coursed through his body. He felt a connection to the ancient spirits and the elemental forces of nature. The drum revealed its secrets to him, showing him visions of the past, present, and future. He saw the history of his people, the struggles and triumphs that had shaped their destiny. But the most profound revelation was the true nature of the spirit drum's power. It was not just a tool for commanding the elements or summoning spirits, it was a symbol of unity and harmony. The drum's power lay in its ability to connect people to their ancestors, to the natural world, and to each other. It was a reminder that true strength came from understanding and respecting these connections. With the spirit drum in his possession, Mutesa began his descent from Kasoma Mountain. The journey down was filled with a sense of accomplishment and peace. The challenges he had faced on the way up now seemed like distant memories, each one a lesson that had shaped him into the person he had become. As Mutesa re-entered Mbali forest, he was greeted by the creatures and spirits he had encountered before. They seemed to acknowledge his success, offering silent nods and gestures of respect. The forest itself seemed more vibrant, as if celebrating his return. When Mutesa finally returned to his village, he was met with astonishment and joy. The villagers gathered around him, eager to hear the tale of his adventure. Mutesa recounted his journey, from the discovery of the map to the trials on Kasoma Mountain and the revelation of the spirit drum's true power. The village elders listened with great interest, their eyes shining with pride. Mzee Keto, the eldest, placed a hand on Mutesa's shoulder. You have done what many thought impossible, he said. You have brought honor to our village and wisdom to our people. Mutesa's mother, Nakitend, embraced him tightly, tears of joy streaming down her face. "Welcome home, my son," she whispered. "You have made us all proud." The impact of Mutesa's journey was profound. The spirit drum became a symbol of unity and harmony for the village, its power used to bring prosperity and peace. The villagers learned to honor their connections to the ancestors and the natural world, living in harmony with the forces around them. Mutesa's name became legendary, his story told and retold by generations to come. He had not only achieved his dream of a legendary adventure but had also brought wisdom and understanding to his people. His journey had transformed him, and in turn, he had transformed his village.